promised for tournaments, it's the same thing. Let's say button, let's look at this one. We have offsuit 8s and suited 5s. Offsuit 8s and suited 5s. If we go to the cutoff, we will have 9s and 6s. And by the way, this is for 40 big blinds. You will have to do this exercise for 100 big blinds, 40 big blinds, and 20 big blinds. Everything else you can kind of adapt from these. If you have, for example, 70 big blind stacks, you just go in between the 100 big blinds and 40 big blinds. But I think the 40 big blinds is the standard one to go from, the benchmark, so to speak. So this is what I would do. And then we can just go to the hijack, and we have 10s and 7s. So as you can see, same pattern here: 8s, 9s, 10s on the offsuit ones, 5s, 6s, 7s on the suited ones, always all pocket pairs. And if we were to do the big blind defend, it would be the same, but it would be boring, so I'm not going through all of that. Now, one thing about 3 bets that we haven't covered yet. Let's go back to the cash one for this. The easy thing here to remember is that you have polarized 3 betting ranges and linear ones. What that means is linear means you just 3 bet your best hands, and polarized means you bet your best hands and bluffs, and you call or fold or whatever, everything in between. And with linear ones, you only do 3 bet the best hands, but you go a little wider than you would with your value than on the polarized ones. And all you have to remember really is which positions you use which of these two. So the small blind is typically the one where you would go with the linear 3 betting range, and especially in live cash games you can do it on any position against weaker players. So for example, if you know that a player will call you a 3 bet with ace 7 offsuit, then you can go wider with 3 betting ace 10 offsuit if you know that he'll call you with ace 7, because then you just dominate him. And conversely, you wouldn't want to 3 bet ace 4 suited against that player if you know that he'll call you with ace 7 offsuit, because then he would dominate you. So against those players, just 3 bet more linearly in any position. But typically in GTO territory, you would only do it in the small blind, and then you would bet more polarized on the button or cutoff, like in position, and especially in the big blind. That's, although you are out of position, you still go with a polarized betting strategy. And this is what we're going to look at. So let's say button opens and we are in the small blind. No, sorry, not in the small blind. We are in the big blind. Small blind would be a bit boring because it's linear. But here in the big blind, what do we do? Well, your best hands, as you can see, aces, kings, queens, jacks, ace king, ace queen, some king jack, ace jack, and so on. And then a lot of other stuff like junk, like suited connectors, which is not like proper junk, but this is proper junk. Queen 4 suited, queen 5 suited, king 6 suited, queen deuce suited, something like that, jack 6 suited. And again, this is GTO Wizard. No other charts, they have a lot of suited jacks that they would 3 bet. It doesn't really matter. Just pick some of these hands. Don't 3 bet too much, but don't 3 bet too little. Most players actually forget, especially in the big blind, to find the bluffs to 3 bet with. They, especially these hands like the suited connectors, they